From 32 teams to 14 to 8, and now we're down to the final 4. Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, and Los Angeles Rams. Boy, we were in for a weekend, weren't we? Okay, now first off, I'm going to apologize because I had all the teams right last week, but I had the matchups all wrong. So that's one thing you're supposed to do when you're doing one of these videos, but doing me on script. You kind of forget that you had those matchups ready. So it wasn't that I had the teams wrong, I just had the matchups wrong in the AFC. So that's why I deleted the video. So if you were wondering, on to this week. Or rather, on to the last week, because let's face it, you wouldn't have expected 4 games to end in game winners. Right? I mean, the Super Wildcard weekend, you had a couple of games that were pretty close. The other ones were just washes. But come on. This weekend, divisional playoffs. You want to talk about the wild weekend? That was a wild weekend. Cincinnati and Tennessee, Evan McPherson game-winning field goal. San Francisco and Green Bay, Robbie Gould game-winning field goal. Los Angeles, Tampa Bay, Matt Gay game-winning field goal. Buffalo and Kansas City, Travis Kelce game-winning touchdown in overtime. If you had told me that we were going to have 4 game winners this weekend, I would have told you you're a dumbass that you would not have called this kind of weekend. I mean, you don't expect that kind of result. But now it's on to the championships. So first off, we have the AFC Championship between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. This takes place in Geha Field at Arrowhead Stadium, and this is going to be an offensive battle. It's going to be a Wild West shootout. Joe Burrow, second year out of LSU, and he has proven himself to be a quarterback that might have longevity in the NFL. And then you have Patrick Mahomes, a Super Bowl champion, who is ready to go right back to the field to reclaim his throne and give the Kansas City Chiefs the 3rd Super Bowl in their franchise history. And believe me, I would love to see Cincinnati return to the Super Bowl for the first time since they were defeated by the 49ers. And I'll get to those guys pretty soon. But, as I said, I see this as a shootout in Geha Field. I mean, you have Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, just to name a few of those guys, and those guys are pretty explosive. But then, of course, you have on the other side Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. This one is going to be very hard to determine because, let's face it, these two teams have been proven explosive, and especially clutch at the end. This is a rematch of Week 17, by the way, in which a lucky break for the Bengals helped them kick a game-winning field goal to claim the AFC North. So, this is a team that has proven themselves beyond a shadow of a doubt that they can play and then play to win. But this is Arrowhead. This is a real tough place to play, especially when you're taking on Andy Reid. I mean, you talk about grizzled coaches. Andy Reid is a grizzled coach, and I know how he plays. So he will find a way to exploit the fans to get onto the Bengals and therefore disrupt anything. If anything should happen, it should be he coming down to the wire yet again. I know I say that like, wait, we just had 4 of them. We just had quite a few of them already this postseason. I mean, Cincinnati and Las Vegas, that went down to the wire. Yes. San Francisco and Dallas, that went down to the wire. And then you have the other 4 last week that went down to the wire, and then you have one game that went into overtime. And I'm still laughing because it was like going right back to week 3 when Aaron Rodgers completed a comeback with less than 40 seconds. And then you have last week with Patrick Mahomes going like, hold my Gatorade. Doing it in 13 seconds. Which is straight out bananas. So, as I see it, this one is going to be...
Stay warm. Yeah.
This one's going to be huge. This one is going to be a 2-point finish. Kansas City 35, Cincinnati 33. Patrick Mahomes 4 touchdowns of the day. Joe Burrow 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I also see Tyreek Hill getting 150 yards and 1 touchdown catch. Travis Kelce 75 yards, 1 touchdown catch. But that is my prediction. Kansas City, who hosting for a record consecutive 4th time in the AFC Championship, is going to be taking this by 2, 35-33. The NFC Championship is an NFC West battle, and I believe this is a rubber match. You have Los Angeles winning in Santa Clara, and then you have the 49ers winning in Week 18 in overtime again in SoFi Stadium. And guess where we're playing? We're in SoFi Stadium. So, yes, this is going to be a close matchup. How close will I say it? I'm not saying it's going to be razor thin, but think about it this way. The weapons on both sides are not necessarily explosive, although you would say personally explosive if you're Odell Beckham Jr., and you know how he plays. But this is a team that has come back several times. I mean, Matthew Stafford, first year as a Ram after playing several years in Detroit, and it proves that it's not the player that's at fault, it's the coaching. Sean McVay is a brilliant coach. Don't get me wrong on this one. But you're also taking on Kyle Shanahan. So, who do I see this? What do I see this right now as? I see this as a...
I think you got everything for downstairs.
As somewhat of a defensive battle. Nick Bosa versus Aaron Donald. Who is going to get to their quarterback more? And I'm going to say that who is going to stay in SoFi to play in the Super Bowl may come down to defenses. And I actually see this as a 2-to-1 ratio, Bosa over Donald. Which means that I'm going to say that the 49ers are going to take this one 24-20. Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 touchdown passes, no picks. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Odell Beck. I could go over down on everyone else. But yes, this is the matchup that I see in Super Bowl 56, a rematch of Super Bowl 54, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. I would like to see the Rams host the Super Bowl, and it will be the second time that the host team plays in the Super Bowl. Yeah, last year the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they were the hosts of the Super Bowl 55, and then they won. And then you have Los Angeles Rams, who have the opportunity to host the Super Bowl as well. But I don't see it. I actually see this as KC and San Francisco. So those are my predictions for the NFC and AFC championships. We'll see how it goes.